Good morning, class. So, from the past few days, the rains have been pouring a lot, and you may have seen the cotton like growth on stale foods like bread, chapatis, and vegetables. What are these? These are fungus, in plural, fungi. Okay, so we are going to learn today about this kingdom, fungi. Okay, or fungi in American accent. It includes moles, yeast, mushrooms, toadstools. So here in this picture you can see stale bread. The orange also looks kind of stale with the green colored mold on it. You can see here mushroom, okay, which you normally see in the rainy season in the rotting trees like that, or mushrooms which we eat normally. This is a button mushroom, morel, and yeast used in various baking industry. So all these are belongs to this kingdom. Earlier we have learnt about kingdom Monera, Protesta, and we'll see the characters of kingdom fungi. See, the structure of the fungus may be unicellular like in yeast. Okay, so it's unicellular and it's the exceptional in this kingdom, or maybe multicellular and or maybe filamentous. Okay, it is eukaryotic, so nucleus is present with a membrane, but it is broken down into smaller nuclei, okay, and which is scattered in the cytoplasm. So uni means single. So like yeast, I have already told you, so yeast will be microscopic. That means that cannot be seen by bare eyes. Okay, and the fungus may be multicellular. That means macroscopic. That means like mushrooms which you eat, so we can see it with the bare eyes. So the structure also varies. That may be microscopic or macroscopic. Some fungus we eat. Okay, so some are edible, but all are not edible. Okay, so all fungus are not edible. Okay, so the examples of this kingdom are mushroom, toadstool, bucket fungi, which grows bracket fungi, which grows on trees. Okay, so they do not have chlorophyll and are mostly saprophytes. Let's start by seeing the characteristics of this kingdom. So see, the first characteristics which we are going to see is the mode of nutrition. That means how the organisms that belongs to this kingdom take the nutrition from. So I have explained you that this kingdom is like plants. Okay, like plants, but they do not have chlorophyll. Since they do not have chlorophyll, then what is another possibility? So if they do not have chlorophyll, that means they are not able to make their own food. So they are not able to make their own food, na? That means they have to gather food from other sources or organisms. So these are heterotrophic animals. That means they cannot prepare their own food. So they will have to take nutrition from other animals or plants. So they may be saprotrophic. Saprotrophic means they may be saprotrophic, or you can say somewhere it is written saprophyte. So don't be confused, both are same. That means they gather food from dead and decaying. Okay, so or saprophytic, that means they will gather their food or nutrition from the dead and decaying organic matter. That may be plants or animals. So that is why we see fungus generally on the stale foods or the rotting foods. Okay, and in the rainy season also you will see the fungus growing on logs of woods which are left outside. Okay, so these you can say are mostly grows on the stale bread, rotting food or rotting plants, okay, or animal matter. Then the next is parasitic. So parasites are the organisms so the examples of such fungus are mushroom, molds, toadstools, etc. Okay. There are two parts, the organism and the host on which it stays, okay, or obtains its nutrition. So in this case the fungus is acting as a parasite and it has got a host on which or from which it gathers the nutrition. But what happens, the host is the another living organism, and what happens, it may cause disease in the host, that is it may be in the plants or in the animals. So it may cause the diseases like rust, smuts, okay, so etc. So these parasites, what happens, they are the ones who are benefited. Okay, so the fungus is benefited while the host, the plant or the animal, is harmed. Okay, you can say that fungus is or may be symbiotic also. So what happens, the mycorrhiza is a fungus which is in a beneficial relationship between plant's root and some fungus. So what happens here, if you will see, there are two parts, the fungus and the plant. See, so the fungus is found attached to the roots of the plants. So here what will happen, the fungus gives the plant water, minerals, that is the nutrients for the plants. Give it to the plant, in turn the plants give it food. Okay, so both are benefited. It is also getting a benefit and the plant is also getting a benefit. So such kind of relationship is called the symbiotic relationship. See, the cell wall is made up of chitin. As I have already told you that fungus is eukaryotic, that means they have a well-defined nucleus. Okay, then the structure of fungus may be thread-like, as in bread mold, or club-like. You can see mushroom. So outer one is thick or broad in size and there is a stalk down. Okay, so a mushroom looks like that. So that is called club fungi. Okay, this is fleshy stalk, head portion is there, and there is a narrow stalk portion is there. Okay, then there is a sac fungi, that is yeast. So that are shaped like a sac. Okay, now the organism in this case which we are going to read, that is the bread mold. You know, I have also told you that bread mold or the fungus here is saprophytic. That means it feeds on the decaying bread. So it is little bluish green in color and very small. Okay, so the color is bluish green. So what happens during the rainy season, or if the bread is left for 3 or 4 days in the place where there is a little bit cool, damp area, so what happens, the bread, the microorganisms multiply in the bread, and what happens, it starts going, or the fungus starts growing on it and it becomes stale. Okay, so you may have seen what we call a blackish dots or bluish green type of dots starts appearing on the bread. That shows that the bread is rotten. Okay, so if we will see, the structure is very small. So let's magnify the structure and let's see. Okay. So the molds appear as cottony, you can say, mass on the bread. So they are thread like, okay, and each filament is called hyphae. So each thread like filament, that is thread like filament, is called hyphae. Okay, so each hypha is a single and continuous column. So hypha is filled with protein. So each hypha is filled with cytoplasm and has several nuclei. Okay, so they grow out in all directions. So they grow out in all directions, creating a maze. Okay, like this. Now let's see in the detail the structure of one of these. Okay, so hyphae runs parallel to the bread. So what happens, there is a root like outgrowth from the hyphae. So this is hyphae. Okay, so these root like growths are called rhizoids. What are these called? Rhizoids. Okay, so these take nutrition from this rotting bread. So since they take the nutrition from the rotting bread, so they are, yes, saprophytes. Okay, so to get maximum nutrition, they grow in all directions. Now, see, these their outer structure again is thread-like, as I have explained, and they have a, you can say, sac-like or you can say the tip is oval in structure. So this tip is called sporangium. Okay, sporangium, and this thread like structure, okay, or the slender column is called sporangiospore. Okay, so this is thread like. Okay, and this sporangium is the tip. Okay, got it? Then the sporangium bears spores. Okay, the sporangium bears spores. So again, when this sporangium matures, then the outer wall ruptures and the spores are released, and when they will find a suitable organic matter, that means another rotting bread or something, they will be landed and they will start growing again into the again the molds will start growing again on it. Okay, so, or you can say the spores germinate. So the spores, when they will find a suitable organic matter, they will germinate. You can see the structure here of the rhizopus, and you know that hyphae of the fungus functions as a microscopic tube, and it spreads throughout the organic medium like pickles or the bread and secrete enzymes. Then the enzymes digest the food particles and turns them into simpler and easily absorbable nutrients. Then the hyphae takes these nutrients, and what happens? They multiply. So how they breathe now? So they breathe aerobically. They breathe aerobically, that means in air. And they grow in the humid places. They take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Okay, but they grow in the places where is very little or no sunlight. Okay. Now we'll learn about the useful and harmful fungus. Okay, and you have to write the answers of the question: which substance forms the cell wall of a fungus? and give two distinct features of a fungal body. So you need to write this and do this as classwork. Okay. We'll discuss about the kingdom Plantae and Animalia in our next class.